Pisces, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead. Now, keep in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements because you could have messages there as well. Okay, my friends, let's get started for Pisces. Let's see, what's the energy around the week ahead for Pisces? Oh, interesting. No place like home and regeneration. So you're stepping into some new pathway here. Something is coming to life here. Something authentic, something truthful, something that you may have sort of thought was dead and gone, you know, like one of those moments where you thought, oh, that's over, that'll never happen, that's not, that's not going to be here for me again, or a missed opportunity of some kind, or sort of a path that you thought was lost, but now you find a way back to it. And it's going to be very prosperous, abundant, joyful, blissful. It's going to sort of feel like a relief and a relaxation, and like you can just be at home with this feeling. It feels like you can just surrender and be at peace with this. This is very interesting, Pisces. I really feel like you're moving towards understanding something and letting go of something else. Like you're ready to accept the truth about your path and sort of take a nap on all of these worries and this idea that you sort of have to force things into place. Something is coming back because you're tapping into your truth. I feel like you're not denying it anymore. You're being your authentic self, and as you step into that authenticity with every inspired action you take, it's like you feel something coming back to life. And it's a beautiful set of images when you look at that. Like it's this idea of really being at home with yourself and then having something come to life because of that. And it's like you're seeing yourself and you're seeing the truth about yourself, and you're acknowledging it, and you're sort of hitting the snooze button on anything that is distracting you from that or making you feel less than anything, like anything that brings up feelings of being less than or not being capable. It's like you're just done with that, Pisces, and you're just focused so much on realizing your true self and your true path and what you're meant to be doing, thinking, believing. And I feel like it's bringing in an immense amount of abundance, pleasure, joy. And again, this idea of just like relaxing into yourself. I feel like for a long time you've been trying to force yourself into, those old Play-Doh toys where it would have like a star and a square and a circle and maybe a triangle, and then you would push the Play-Doh through it to make shapes. It's like you've been trying to push yourself through that, but you didn't fit in any of those slots. You just sort of were grinding your way through it. And now it's like you're like, you know what? I don't need to do that anymore. I can just be authentically me and live that way. And it's like you're giving that a try, and it's working exponentially fast. Like, yeah, look at that. We're seeing the Ace of Cups, the King of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. It's like you're by not succumbing to the drama anymore and being grounded in who you are, your cup overflows. It's interesting to see in that Milk and Honey card this beautiful bathtub of honey that this lovely elephant is having a good time in. It's overflowing, very similar to that cup overflowing. It makes me feel like by really acknowledging who you are and sort of putting to rest and putting to bed these ideas that you have to fit into a structure, that just because other people fit into it, so do you. And I think you've done that. You've tried that. You've tried that for a long time. And now, bottom of the deck, we see the Three of Wands, which is a time where you're sort of like, I know my life is going to take off once I start to just be authentic and live out my truth, regardless of what other people are doing or thinking, or, it doesn't matter anymore. It's like you're not focused on that. You're not allowing yourself to get pulled into other people's expectations. I feel like there's a lot of that around you, though. Like, I feel like there are people around you trying to get you to be part of the mold that they live under. It's almost like, people sharing their perceptions of their life with you and saying, well, it's like they're trying to give you their truth. I'm stumbling over my words, but like, it's like they're trying to give you their truth, and you're like, no. I'm going to live according to my truth. And we don't have to agree on that. And we don't have to even share that belief, but I'm going to live according to my own truth. Yeah, this is very transformative. There's the Page of Cups. I feel like this is ushering in this new dimension of your path. Like you're living a life that you feel resonates with you now. And I think that you're putting to sleep these ideas that you have to be like other people and you have to live the same way. I'm almost feeling like this could impact you on a bunch of levels, like not just emotionally about how you feel about yourself, but I think it actually has to also do with what you do for work, what you do for pleasure, what you do with your time and energy and your money. It's like, it's changing. Yeah. You're at a point here where you're like, I'm going to take that path that feels like it's the one for me. And it doesn't matter if it's a path that doesn't make sense to anyone else, or a path that, that might feel like it's, I'm almost feeling like people are sort of pushing their fears onto you, and that's their truth. And I feel like you're putting those fears to bed. You're taking a nap on those fears, and you're saying, no, that's not how I choose to look at the world. I choose to look at it the way that makes sense to me, and I'm going to pursue the path that makes the most sense for me, whatever that is. Yeah. And there's the Hermit. I feel like you're looking at things from a different perspective, and you might be the only one who sees this perspective in your current sort of surrounding energies. You might not have a lot of people that share this idea, but I think you're actually going to attract some people closer to closer to how you believe. Like you're going to meet some like-minded people along this journey. I think you're just starting here, and there's the Nine of Cups. Like I think you've had a lot of unmet desires, and you've had some emotional moments that you wouldn't describe as fulfilling, but that's all. It feels like it's all turning around because you're no longer trying to fit a mold. I think you're ready to just be authentic and come into your personal truth, and you're expressing yourself as you see it. It's very interesting, Pisces. I feel like there's this finish line here in the Four of Wands, and you're about to cross it. I think you're being guided to be grateful for this journey, and you're being guided to see things from a higher perspective about what this transformation could really be leading to, and that it's showing you that it's time to make a directional shift. I feel like there is a directional shift. Like I was saying, it could impact what you do for work and how you spend your time, money, and resources. But it also feels like it's got that emotional quality to it too, where you're really following yourself. You're following your heart. You're open to yourself. And I almost feel like saying you're finally open to yourself. You're no longer denying who you are and what you're here to do. I feel like this is a new opportunity. It's a second chance or a third chance or whatever at doing things in a way that resonate for you. It's very interesting. It's very authentic. It's very empowered. And it's this idea that you are sort of looking at things that you maybe once would have called a loss or even a failure, and you're seeing them as an opportunity for powerful growth. and something that you may have even tried in the past, but then didn't go all the way with it, and then, you maybe have always thought about that opportunity and thought to yourself, oh man, I would love another shot at that. And it's like you're taking another shot at that. You know what I mean? No matter what kind of losses you faced in the past, it's like you're seeing here the truth that endings are just illusions. They are new beginnings disguised as endings. And this idea that there is no life after certain things have ended. Sometimes we really are very concrete, and we think, no, that's done. That's in the past. There's no way that could happen. I can't go back to that. I think you're going back to that. I think there's something here, Pisces, that you're giving new life to something that feels like it's emerging. And I think you can feel it within you right now. And you're putting to rest these ideas that you can't do something. I think it's about confidence here. Like you're no longer doubting your ability to do things. I think you're just seeing the truth about yourself, and that you can, it sounds cheesy a little bit, but that you can do anything you put your focus to. Hang on, those fell on the floor. Yeah, we're seeing here this Knight of Pentacles and Five of Cups in reverse, clarifying here that you're moving forward in the present moment. And I think you're looking at the past in a very different way. And you're able, I think, to let go of certain things that, like we said, that you would describe as losses. And you're seeing them very differently now. I think you're seeing like, how to bring life back to a situation or to a circumstance that you may have thought was not going to be possible. And I feel like you have shifted your perspective on that. We see here that you're of two minds. There's almost a part of you here in that Two of Swords in reverse that is like needing to trust what's happening without seeing. It's almost like getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, because there's something shifting in your energy here, moving you towards something very authentic. And I feel like it's bringing justice into a situation that, again, you may have described as a loss in the past. And I feel like you're going to have to make a decision about whether or not something truly feels authentic to you or not. But there is this pathway forward where you're living your truth. And I feel like in living your truth, you're sort of making that decision to say, well, if it's not authentic, I'm not taking it. Like you're really about balance here in this Two of Cups. And I think that for some of you, this is about a relationship. But for others of you, this is about the relationship you hold with yourself, and it's healing, and it's now coming into balance where you see yourself in the true light, like you really see yourself for who you are, and you're not judging it anymore. And I placed that card up above there because I feel like that's the no place like home, and that's the regeneration, is that you're able to see yourself with true eyes, and you've put to rest these ideas that you have to fit into a certain mold in order to have worth. You now understand that you have to get distance from those limiting beliefs, and that you have to keep moving towards sort of bringing closure to that idea that you're limited in some way because you're different. We're all different from each other. This is a transformative moment here. On the bottom of the deck, we can see the Death card. And we see the Ace of Swords with the Page of Cups again coming through, and the Page of Pentacles and the Empress. You're giving birth to something that you thought was a missed opportunity. And there's a lot of good positive energy around this. Ace of Wands too. There's passion here. There's purpose here. This is you sort of stepping into your most creative chapter to date. Pisces, you're making some major moves here for yourself, because you're finally sitting in your personal power with that King of Wands, and you're making choices that are in alignment with yourself as you are. You're not trying to force yourself to be something you're not. You're sitting in your truth, and you're really moving towards something abundant, prosperous, and that resonates for you. And I feel like it's bringing you to life. You know, it's interesting. It's like it's bringing you back to life. Instead of you sort of feeling like you don't know your own truth, there's the Queen of Swords sitting next to the King of Pentacles. Oh my goodness, with the Star card. Like you're really healing. Your wishes are sort of manifesting in front of you because you see your truth now. You see it. I think you've been denying it for some time, but you see it now for what it is. You see yourself for who you are, and you're no longer judging that as being not enough, because it's always been enough. But I think you've been busy comparing yourself to others and coming up like you didn't feel like you had worth for some reason. But that's all shifting, it feels like. It feels like you're starting to really recognize yourself for who you are. The true you is shining through. And it's shifting your perspective. It's bringing in this transformative new beginning. I feel like you're seeing a lot of signs about this. You're starting to really tap into yourself, Pisces, and it's moving you forward really fast. And in a way where like you can understand some past situations that weren't in balance, and it's giving you courage, and it's bringing you to this new path. This is such an interesting, expansive reading. I really feel like the guidance for you is to continue to surrender to this. Just continue to surrender to yourself, and don't deny who you are. Don't deny who you are. Wow, I'm going to leave it at that for you, Pisces. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope it's been helpful. If it's resonated for you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. I appreciate your support so, so much. And I look forward to reading for you again soon, my friends. Sending you so much love and light. Take care.